If you're used to the theater experience where you're in the seat and the actor is on the stage, try the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. At Renaissance Fair, you're on the street and the actors are all around you. The hundreds of paid participants and still more volunteer performers make up the population of the Elizabethan English village Chippin' Under Oakwood every spring in Southern California. There are recurring characters like the respected Lord Mayor, his rather spontaneous wife, Master of the Revels, the respected Master of the Guilds, the hated Lord Sheriff, dashing hero Sir Francis Drake, fresh from the circumnavigation of the earth. Will Wood, who for years has played Sir Francis Drake, explains the appeal of environmental theater.
Little more than you're immersed in it, much in the same way that you're immersed in the ocean when you fall overboard. Simply nothing more than what greets your ear is the human voice of the crier or the unamplified sound of the instrument. And the songs, you can set your foot to a dance there in the dust of the street. You may well have to move to make way for some of the 13 processions that would come. And of course you may raise a cheer or raise a cup of ale, and about you is some small place to rest from all of that beneath an oak.
How much work goes in trying to encourage the audience to become part of the show?
There are workshops for some 4 weekends previous to the fair, and those are open not only to participants but to the public as well. And some small daily life is taught, the social geography almost of the time. But to the great extent, the customers, the visitors that come to us, inviting them to come in costume, first of all, inviting them to join the dance, inviting them to raise that cheer and to learn that proper bow and curtsy is an invitation that isn't very often extended to them.
Speaking of research, speaking of background, how much such research and background have you done on Sir Francis Drake?
Well, I'm very fortunate simply because Drake visited California in '79 and was here for some 35 days.
That's 1579.
1579, of course, and laid a claim there to the land and the people that we still honor, as a matter of fact, and we've returned to collect the taxes. But in research, here was an Elizabethan that was in this very state, and the books and the regard that's made of him by the English people is something that's very easy to follow. There are some similarities just for myself. The age is similar. I happen to be a son of a preaching farmer myself. Although I'm not the sailor that he was, I can get some sense of what it was to put this boot to a dusty road in California.
At the Lord Mayor's show daily at Renaissance Fair, the inhabitants of Chippin' Under Oakwood get some electrifying news.
In this shire, upon 3 of the clock, Her Gracious Majesty Elizabeth shall grace us with her presence.
And yes, at Renaissance Fair there is a Queen Elizabeth.
Thank you.
God save the Queen!
And thee as well, my lord.
Although there are large pageants and set pieces, the spontaneous performances are often the most entertaining.
Hi, sir, you're late to be a virgin?
Yesterday. She don't smile too briskly.
My son, what's feeding you a fine hog's head? Come now, sir. Thou canst appreciate a good meal. Certainly. What thou take it home and roast it up then? Come now. Do picture it, sir. Garnish it with an apple in the mouth. A bit of parsnip, mayhap.
And of course, once you've attended fair a few times and picked up the language and a costume, you can be part of the show too.
I'll be back to you, Bill, just as soon as the 16th century is over. And now your change.